How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Quentin Guy. Very happy Freedom Day for all my South African viewers out there. That was yesterday though, but it's still Freedom Day for me today. The last bit, it is quite late at night. Hopefully it was a good public holiday, but it's not just a public holiday, it's actually a very important celebration of something that happened quite a couple of years ago. Now, if you don't live in South Africa, Freedom Day is the celebration of the first democratic election in South Africa. That was its 27th of April 1994. First celebrated the following year of 27 April 1995 was the first time, and we've been celebrating Freedom Day after that. Now, that got me thinking or meditating on the thought of freedom. So why is it so important for democracy, for everyone to vote? So for you to be able to vote means that you have got a say in what happens in your country. That's why it's through the ages, there's always been a constant fight for people not being able to vote, for them to be able to vote. So it started off with just men being able to vote, and then men of a certain ethnic group. And then the ladies were fighting for their right to vote as well. It happened in quite a few countries. Some countries were cool, they just gave voting rights to everyone. Not everyone were as cool as that. So ladies fought for their right to vote. So when all of a certain ethnic group were able to vote, certain others were excluded. So they fought for their right to have a say in what happens in the country. So meaning they've got the freedom to say what they want, or to have a say in what happens in their country. Now, freedom as a concept is a very, very fragile thing. But before I carry on with that thought of it being so fragile, let's think about laws. Where does a law come from? Where does in a democracy, where does the government have the right, or the lawmakers, broad spectrum, have the right to tell someone as part of the population that they're not allowed to do something? Well, the main thing stems from you being sociable. We are social creatures. Being in a social environment, you need to get along with other people in that environment. That's why certain things are illegal to do based on that small fact. And I think a lot of people forget about that as well. So for you to be able to be sociable, you need to get along with other people, meaning you're not allowed to kill them, to steal stuff from them, not be a nice guy. Yeah, unfortunately that's not against the law. Things like that. That's the core essence of laws and where our laws come from. It's just being sociable, just getting along with other people and letting them do what they want to do. Now, let's get back to the freedom aspect. How fragile do you think freedom really is? Now, during COVID times, all of our freedoms were taken away. Now, some people agree with that and some people don't. It doesn't really matter. What happened, your freedoms were taken away. Your freedom to shop how you want to do what you want to generally just go outside. That freedom was stripped from you. Again, some people say it's justified, others they say it was not. So that's how fragile freedom is. It can be taken away like this. We got a notification in South Africa. I think we had about two or 3 days to prep before lockdown, and that was our freedoms stripped of us. So that's big freedoms. That's freedoms just to go outside, just to shop how you want to, just to wear what you want to, not to wear a mask, stuff like that. Those freedoms were taken away. Now, let's get to other freedoms that, whether you are, well, if you're watching this channel, you are on the side of being pro firearms. Maybe you're not. Maybe you got shared this video. Let's move on. And I'll show you some stuff here. Okay, so here's some goodies that I want to show you guys, and just to elaborate on the freedom aspect of things. Now, getting back to America, the land of the free. So, they've got quite a few freedoms. Not so much with firearms. Some states do, some states do not. For example, let's take an AR-15. This is my sport shooting rifle. I'm an avid sport shooter and hunter. South Africa is illegal to hunt with one of these. You're only allowed to have an AR-15 if you use it for sport shooting, which I do. So South Africa is legal to have this under very strict circumstances, and it is a freaking pain to get a license for this. Some states in America you're not allowed to have this at all. Some states you're allowed to have this freely. Now, in the old South Africa that everyone gets so nostalgic about, or some people get nostalgic about, you weren't allowed to have this at all. This was completely illegal. You weren't allowed to have any semi-automatic rifle. If you weren't part of a commando or part of the military or anything like that, civilians weren't allowed to have this. Okay, not so great after all. Let's take, for example, let's take the mag out. Firearm is safe for all the keyboard warriors out there. A stupid thing like a magazine that goes into a firearm, it's illegal to have more than 10 rounds. Now this takes 15 rounds. More than 10 rounds in some states in America, like California. How stupid is that? You're not allowed to have a full capacity magazine. They want to limit the magazine. What? That's just ridiculous. Moving on. Things like in certain countries, this is a little 38 Special Rossi. Firearm is clear and safe. This is a handgun. This is illegal in the United Kingdom. A stupid little handgun like this. 5 rounds, 38 Special. Why? That's their freedom taken away. So I'm a firm believer in you can do what you want to. You can even say what you want to, as long as it doesn't hurt me or hurt my family or my friends. And so as well for everything else. I think everyone should have the freedom of sexuality, the freedom of religion, the freedom of just doing what they want to. Just as long as you are being sociable, you can have and do what you want. Now, taking away the freedom of firearms or even the capacity of your firearm, that's ridiculous. How's that still being free? That's people going, okay, I'm forgetting the social or the essence of being sociable, of where our laws actually come from. Now let's go to knives. This knife is a butterfly knife. Super illegal in most states in America. Now this is a knife, a normal knife. It's actually a shitty knife. This, if I want to stab someone, I'm not going to do it with this. There's no control. It's a shitty grip. It's not a very strong blade. It's probably going to break there anyway. It's not a nice knife to work with, but it's illegal because some people got scared of the type of people that were carrying these types of knives. Same thing with this ukapi. Now, probably the most popular knife in South Africa, arguably. Oh, that sucked. That sucked again. Okay, bit out of practice. Probably the most popular knife in South Africa, the ukapi. Super illegal in most countries because of the length of the blade and because it has a locking blade. Now, arguably in South Africa, I think probably most of the weapon deaths happen with this knife. There's a lot of stabbings that happen, and a lot of people that get killed with this cheap, shitty knife. Moving on. Arguably the most popular knife makers in the world is Victorinox. Cool. Now this is a normal user knife. This is a Sentinel serrated. I did a review on this ages ago. Now, locking blade, very long blade, illegal in the UK. Crazy stuff. And then I think illegal in a lot of countries as well. A little utility knife like this. Now this is the Alox Pioneer. This is borderline in some places and some countries because it's got a bit of a longer blade than the normal Swiss Army knife. See, it's slightly longer. Now this is legal. This is what you are allowed to carry. So if you like locking blades, you are out of luck. Things like the recent review that I did as well. This is the Adamantine. Nice long blade, locking mechanism, illegal. Just a user knife like this. Let's move on. This is the defensive blade that I carry. So, doesn't look too menacing. Locking blade is probably going to be illegal. How stupid is that? So, my main point... Oh yeah, I clean forgot. This is my Glock. This is firearm clean and safe. This is my carry pistol. This is my defensive pistol. This is my sport shooting pistol. Illegal in some countries because the police carry Glocks. Does that make sense? So now, this gets me to my point about freedom. Is it really freedom if you aren't allowed to do or have certain things just because of having it? Now, people that are making these stupid laws, do you think they're going to stop at limiting firearms, limiting certain type of firearms, limiting the capacity of your magazines, limiting what kind of knives you are allowed to have? Do you think they're going to stop there? It's probably going to escalate. Now, that's the way that the world is going now, is more liberal and more limiting on your rights. Why would we want that? So I say we need to make sure and be diligent about our freedoms. Don't give up any freedoms. Don't sit in a corner and go, okay, I don't really care about that because I don't have that. So I'm just going to sit in my corner and then I'll take away their freedoms, just leave mine alone. It's just going to snowball from there. How long is it going to take for you to lose your freedom of speech? Now, this is YouTube. This is probably the most strict social media platform with regards to firearms. I'm still a small channel. I'm probably not going to be able to monetize this once I get to my 1,000 subscribers because there's firearms in here and I'm promoting the legal right to have a firearm. They don't like that. So that's that freedom of speech already taken away. So how long is it before they start infringing on your right to have a freedom of speech? And that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this meditation on the thought of freedom and how it pertains to our everyday carry community. See you guys later. Cheers.